everyone, Jenny with On Fire Fit, and today's video is about pour into your core and how to get started right. So this will apply to you if you are a fly on the wall and you are just going to watch along, and it will apply to you if you are in my community closed group. Either one is completely fine, but I just wanted you all to get the same getting started speech at the same time. Now, the people that are in my community closed group, I will be doing a introduction call with them because everyone has a different place that they're getting started, maybe special areas that they need to focus on. And I just, since I am pouring into my core people, and that's the ones that are in my closed group, I am going to do an official getting started right call with you all. Now, if you're on the outside, I'm not doing that with you. I just wouldn't have enough time, but you can still apply these same questions and thought processes to what you're going to be doing. So I think it's good for everyone to do. Now, before I get started, I have to ask you, my mentor says that we should all wear a bold lip. So I never wear bold lipstick, but what do you think? Okay, has nothing to do with the video, but I thought, all right, I am gonna do the bold lip, even though I always just put on lip gloss or like chapstick or whatever. I'm just not usually that kind of a person, but I thought, okay, today I'm gonna do it because I actually watched a video where she just said we should. So, okay, that's a total side note. Okay, so I'm gonna go through, I did give my overview I wrote it out so that I wouldn't forget anything. One of the reasons that I really wanted the people that are going to be doing the phone call with me to watch this video is because I don't know if you all realize I have a really bad jaw problem, and I have prayed about it a ton, and I've gone to a million different doctors, and it is not something that is easy to solve, pretty much surgery or a miracle. And so the less that I have to say the same thing over and over again is better. The more I talk, the worse my jaw is. And so I feel like it's God's way of saying I need to listen more. So I am going to give you the information. Then it's pretty much the same thing that I want everybody to be thinking about. And then when I actually am on the phone with you people that I'm setting these one-on-one up, you will know what we're going to talk about, and you will maybe be able to think ahead a bit about it. Okay, so let's get started. So this is made up of your wellness, okay? And so I have posted a wellness wheel. And that wellness wheel basically will change throughout your life. You're not going to always have your wellness wheel look the same, and that's fine. That's the whole point. Like, we go through journeys in life where certain areas of our life are really strong and certain areas might not be quite as strong, and that's perfectly fine. But sometimes we do need to strengthen the weak areas, and sometimes our strong areas are the areas that will help pull us through our weak areas. So I do want you to look at your wellness wheel. You can print it out or just make a little sketch of it, and just look at the different areas of your life and rate where you are right now, and then make your little wheels. So you might have a little wonky wheel because your health portion, where you talk about your physical health, is not that great, but maybe your spiritual is great. Maybe that's really strong, or whatever the case is. So definitely do that before I talk to you, so you can kind of identify the areas that you might need to focus on that. I also posted a link to a quick little survey that will kind of give you some of your strengths. And the reason that I wanted you to use that survey is because it might confirm things you already know, or it might surprise you. I've found, I did this survey probably a year or two ago, and it had a little different focus than it does now. But some of my qualities were the same, but kind of other ones rose up. And what I noticed about it is there is a general theme, and those areas of strength is what I am going to use to help me in my areas of weakness. And so I would love for you to do that little survey and then tell me what your areas of strength are, because I don't want us just focusing on all of the bad stuff that we have to fix. I think it's really important that the areas that we're already strong are going to help us get stronger. And this is the case with even when I'm with my kids and trying to help them in weak areas of their life. I don't just sit there and pound on them about, oh, how all these bad things. I say, you are so strong in your ability to think about other people. How about you think about your own choices as well? You know, you always want to kind of look at your strength or another person's strength to help them to apply that to another area. So definitely do that for me before I talk to you. And if you're not doing this in our closed group, it's fine. Just do it on your own. It's going to help you as we get started in this, because in Pour Into Your Core, it's not going to just be your core, your belly, and it's not just going to be what you eat, but it's how we think, and it's all the different areas, our interpersonal relationships and everything all contribute to our inside and how that will pour out and cause change in our life. Okay, so through that wellness wheel and through that, you're going to look for a couple areas that you are going to kind of zero in on. And then in our group, as well as publicly, I will be posting on YouTube as well as on the Facebook page, and I will be putting various things that are videos, motivation, recipes, food, all of that kind of stuff. If you are in the closed group, the community page, I want you guys to contribute to that, because it really builds a whole different kind of community feeling. You're not in this alone. We're doing this together. And it is so exciting to see other people's pan of roasted vegetables or whatever it is that you are making, or that you've logged a day of fitness. It keeps us going, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that too. So I love that part about it. And then we get to kind of talk to each other every day. So that's really fun. I want you to remember that you are going to be the one in the driver's seat, and it's your choice how much you're pushing on that accelerator. I am not going to be there to push on the accelerator, okay? And you need to be able to take responsibility for your own choices, and that's what I'm going to help you with, and that's what I'm going to be trying to help persuade you to do. But you get to decide if you're going to drive or if you're going to sit in the garage. I'm not going to be there to start the car every day for you. I know you would love it. I probably would too. But we're going to do this together. But I want you to remember that you cannot disappoint me. If you decide to sit in the garage, that is totally up to you. We are all at different stages and journeys, but this is, you are in the driver's seat and you're going to get to decide. I can give you all the tools. I can fill up your gas tank. I can give you what you need, load that car up with all the supplies and things. But unless you decide to take it and drive the car, then none of it will make a difference during this time that we're together. So, but remember, you're not going to disappoint me. Nobody has ever disappointed me. You guys have always, whether you have felt like you've gone forward or back or whatever, I love being on the journey with you. So never feel like you're going to let me down if things don't turn out the way you were hoping or whatever, okay? So this is going to be your time to think, because my people that I'm talking to on the phone, I have some questions that I want you to consider. And I will put that in the comments section so that you have that to kind of mentally think through before I get on the phone with you. And if you're not in the group, this is good for you to look through as well. Okay, so what is your goal? If you are going through this series with me, what areas are you focusing on? And what area of that wellness wheel is is strongest, and which is weakest, okay? What are your strengths? So you get that off of that survey. Make sure you write those down, and not just the top one, the other ones that are included in that. I want you to also look at your habits and your patterns and the barriers that are in the way of your goals, okay? So we have some things in place that may be really helpful, And then there's going to be other things that are either a bad habit or a bad pattern, or it's a barrier we have found that prohibits us normally from being able to achieve that goal. What would be some possible solutions? So there are always solutions to problems, always. Like when I tore my calf, and I mostly do ballet, walk, run, what was my solution? Am I going to sit and wait for 3 months doing nothing and get slowly more sluggish, lower energy, feel depressed? No. What can I do? Well, I can't use my leg. What can I do? I went on YouTube and I picked up chair-based exercises, and I went to the gym and I sat on a bench and I did upper body. And I'm like, there are always solutions. It's just a matter of whether or not you are willing to choose those, or if you are going to continue to choose an excuse. So we always have solutions. We just need to start thinking about it and give ourselves the opportunity to actually start to do those things. So what are some of the skills or capabilities that you might need to develop in order to achieve that goal? Okay, so let's just say, for an example, you would love to be able to run a marathon or a half marathon or do a 5K. What are some of the skills or capabilities that you would need to have in order to do that? Well, you probably would need to have a schedule of days that you can walk or run, and how much you need to walk and run in order to build up to that. And they have all different kinds of things online that help people learn how to train for a marathon. Run this long for this day, and then take a rest day, and then run this long and take a break, and that kind of thing. So what kind of things do you need a skill or a capability? Maybe if you're just trying to make food that you really love, but let's say you just don't eat healthy right now, but all the healthy food doesn't taste good to you. What skill or capability would you need in order to start eating healthy food? Maybe you need to start exploring recipes and testing them out in the kitchen. I am the type of person that I don't mind trying out recipes. I enjoy that, but I don't like to feel like I have to be super creative with my meals every day because I am so busy. I just don't want to spend 2 hours in the kitchen. So I'll do that from time to time, but for the most part, I am just perfectly fine with simple food. So to me, I don't really have a goal of making things more appetizing. Food that is just seasoned, that are vegetables and some chicken, is fine with me. But if you really need that, then start looking into it. Take a cooking class. What is it that would need to be built into you more so that you can reach that goal? Where's your mindset? Okay, so we're going to be talking about our mind and our spirit throughout this too, because I know you've heard this before, but we all need to hear these things over and over and over again. And I will reiterate this later too. But our thoughts control our feelings, which control our actions. I'm going to say that one more time because we need to think about that. Our thoughts control our feelings, which control our actions. Here's where most of us go wrong, and I am guilty of this myself. Our feelings control our thoughts, which control our actions. We usually bump feelings up to number one, and then that creates how we feel, and then that's what creates what we do. Okay? The problem with that scenario is feelings always do this. So then thoughts are doing this. So then actions are doing this. What we need is to put the thoughts back in their place. We get to choose what we think. But in the beginning of new processes and developing new habits, that's foreign to us. We're used to just falling into however I'm feeling today. We're going to put thoughts in the driver's seat, and then we're going to let those thoughts tell us how we feel, which is going to turn into actions. So right now, where is your mind? Are you in a fear-based area? Are you pretty positive? That's going to matter too. And we're going to choose and decide that our thoughts are going to take over. But first, we're going to have to be aware of them, because even I will wake up some days in a fog, not really thinking straight, just waking up, and already I can hear, realizing, gosh, I'm saying a lot of condemning thoughts. Why do I always feel like this? Why do I always feel so tired? Why is it so hard to get going? Whatever the case it is that you might feel in yourself when you start talking to yourself in your head. So just starting to become aware of that. But where's your mindset right now? How you can be successful in this group or out there watching from afar, you are going to be much more successful the more that you pour into this, okay? So it's going to be asking for help, reaching out for other people, watching all the videos. Even if you don't have time to sit and watch a video, which I don't do a whole lot myself, pull the video up while you are getting ready in the morning. Pull it up while you're making your dinner. Pull it up while you are sitting waiting for your kid to get out of their activity. You know, you don't always have to set aside a time. You just have to be able to hear it. There's not going to be anything that you necessarily have to watch or see. Although you might want to with the core exercises. I'll take that back. We're going to be filming some of those today. Helping motivate other people is probably one of the least thought of but most impactful things that you can do. When I used to help people in history, which was not a strong area of my education, I never really had the best history teacher, so it was always kind of hard for me to grasp and get interested. But when I had to help motivate other people, because they were coming to me saying, oh my goodness, I don't know what the material is for the test. When I had to help teach and motivate other people, it got me motivated, and actually I did really well in history because I was helping somebody else. So that's a good area for you to think about too, whether it's here in our group or it's out there in the world. But the more that you think about how you can help other people with what you're going through, the easier it's going to be for you too. So that is a great way to find success. Make sure you're checking in regularly on all these different platforms where I'm located. Subscribing and setting notifications and things like that will help alert you to the fact that I have put something out there. I will be 100% transparent here and saying I don't put notifications on things because I don't like to be distracted. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink because my throat is going crazy right now. So I'm not a big fan of having alerts that pop up on my phone all the time, but you can set notifications at least so that when you do go on Facebook or you go on YouTube, it highlights it. If you have problems with that, let me know, but that kind of helps keep you from having to search all the time. It also will help on Fire Fit to grow in the long run because these different platforms just recognize people by how many people follow and subscribe and things like that. So if you want to spread the fire, that is a great way to do it. Be honest, be open, be willing to think differently, be willing to put in the work, and that is all going to be part of how you can be successful as well. So as we get started, I'll be giving you a lot more details on what exactly we're doing, but these are the things that I want you to think about at the very beginning for getting started right. And I will be sure to follow this with more informational videos, but I am so glad that you're with me. If I will be doing a phone call with you, please remember to look at your wellness wheel, do the survey, and take a look at the questions that I will put below. That way you know kind of what's coming and you can think about it for a few minutes at least before we get on the phone. And if not, you can certainly do this on your own on the side. I encourage people to write stuff down because then you get to see progress. You get to look back and say, oh, that's where I was then. Here's where I am now. And that's how we learn and grow. So thanks so much for being with me. I can't wait to hear from you and see how things are going in your life. And today and every day, live your life on fire.